Now looking at this, you mentioned the Kerrigan, and both teams have players who can really play those melee assassins, and the melee assassins are so fantastic on Blackheart's Bay to be able to rotate around, pick up the camps, get a lot of those small doubloon camps, and be able to pick those up while the rest of them are soaking in the lanes.
First pick, first ban, Cloud9. What will they deny here? They're going to be thinking very, very hard on this. They do have a lot of pride. You know, they do drop games every once in a while. They don't like that. They get very upset. They are definitely perfectionists in that set. They want to 3-0 every time they are in the tournament, 2-0 every best of 3. So they're going to be looking to get the best composition possible here.
Yeah, I'm looking at a camera of Dunk Train. It looks pretty serious. They are ready to rock, and Cloud9 are going to choose to ban Zeratul for their first ban.
Zuna did work in game number 2 there. We saw him get punished on Infernal Shrines. Not the best map for him. You know, the VP used to be great for stalling out, getting kills, but he has fallen a little bit out of favor in general, especially on that map. So Zeratul getting banned out here on Blackheart's Bay. Really great in rotations, securing camps. He can go and sneak camps away, especially those small pirate camps.
Tyrande also going to be banned from this game. Once again, no High Priestess of Elune joining us in this fight. Cloud9 going to first pick the Muradin.
What will be the next pickup here for Bob Ross Fan Club? They have a lot to think about here before those mid-tier bans. We've seen them ban out the Sonya last game. It's been a while since we've seen McIntyre on Sonya as game number 1 of the series. iDream was on it, and game 2, Bob Ross banned it out.
I would say that Zagara could be pretty likely here, but like we mentioned before, not seen either of these teams really prioritizing her too much. But, you know, she does really have a commanding ability to hold that bottom lane and pick up the bottom doubloon chest.
Absolutely. Zagara would be a great pickup here. Kale Foss going to Bob Ross Fan Club. Zuna has been playing out of his mind this tournament, especially on this hero.
One more pick here. Do they go for another damage? Do they try to pick up a support or a warrior if they don't want to be denied the possibility of getting another one? One that they really need to make sure that their strategy succeeds. It will be Uther this time going to Bob Ross.
They've given Uther to Dunk Train both these games. The Divine Shields have been on point and very difficult to deal with. So no surprise there. Kenma going to be playing that Uther there. Cloud9 with their next 2 picks. Be interesting to see what they're going to lock in.
Jaina still available in K1 Pro. A lot of times been playing a lot of Jaina. The flanks have been very real from him on that hero.
Wouldn't be surprised if we saw an early Falstad pickup as well. He's pretty popular in the current meta and very good on this map, being able to fly across the map to potentially get one of the chests when they spawn, support his teams whenever they're getting caught out of position, go for those camps on the side as well. So Falstad, really good pickup here for Cloud9. Will they lock in, though? They could go for support as Uther has been taken.
Yeah, Blackheart's Bay is a pretty tall battleground, so having that flight is really nice, but they may also want to, you know, Bob Ross already has their support. If Cloud9 don't pick one up here, it's very likely that Bob Ross could choose to ban one from Cloud9 too. So if that is a concern for them, if Dunk Train wants to make sure that he is on the hero that he really wants to get, if it can't be Uther, we may see that pickup here.
Abathur would be a great pickup for Cloud9 here, but who would play the Abathur? Arthlon, formerly of Tempestorm, was not the Abathur player for that team. Fan, currently on Bob Ross, was their Abathur player, but it will be that Sonya.
Okay, Sonya grabbed. Seen McIntyre from Bob Ross play her a lot throughout this weekend. It's going to be Cloud9 who steals her away. iDream, we've seen it before. His Sonya is very, very impressive as well. Now, who do Bob Ross Fan Club ban? Do they take out the support like I was mentioning before, try to limit something else that Cloud9 might be able to pick up?
Well, it's going to be a tough decision here. I don't know what they're wanting to run. I have a feeling that, I mean, Abathur has to be seen at least some point in this map. He is so good here, especially with these teams. Maybe a ban, maybe a pickup. You know, I wouldn't be surprised if Cloud9 denied the Abathur because it would be, you know, they don't have anything that pairs with it quite well right now, but just his presence on the map makes him so difficult to deal with on Blackheart's Bay.
Plus, Cloud9 do not like to have to deal with that Abathur, that split push style, and they know how good Fan is on that hero. But it's going to be Tassadar ban from Bob Ross. I do like that because of the fact that we already do have Sonya showing for Cloud9.
Well, will Cloud9's ban be? They're going deep into the time pool here, Gilly, down to 10 seconds. They're really, really thinking hard about this. 5 seconds left. What will the ban from Cloud9 be? And it's going to be ETC.
Airho will not be playing the rock star today, the rock god cow, if you will, but 2 more picks coming in, can still grab his warrior of choice now if he would like, or even in the final pick once they know more about what Cloud9's strategy is.
First of all, he's a Tauren, not a cow. All right, they're different things. Cows don't walk on 2 feet, Gilly.
My apologies.
Okay? It's all right. It's all right. Just, you don't want to insult ETC. He's got feelings, Bob Ross fan club, where are they going to run? We've seen them run the Leoric a lot this weekend, but it's usually paired with the Sonya. Will we see that solo warrior, Leoric? Probably going to be seeing the Joanna. Still, wave clear is very important. The blind is very, very helpful versus the Sonya and the Muradin.
And really nice, too, at being able to safely stop the turn-ins.
There's that false side we were talking about from before. Going to be really impactful on this map.
And one final pickup here. Still have some time to make the decision, but Falstad will be really nice for them for all of the reasons we mentioned before, but especially that flight, being able to go exactly where he needs to do, flying up maybe to take out the watchtower, maybe to steal one of those small doubloon camps from the side, and Leoric coming back into the play.
Yep, that's going to be Leoric. Bob Ross for me rocking the solo warrior Leoric. I'm curious as to what the win rate is with solo warrior Leoric in this tournament. I have a feeling it's pretty low. Most of the time we see it, he does get punished pretty hard. Cloud9 with their next 2 picks, they need to lock in that support. Karazim very good versus Leoric.
He really is. Although a lot of times we see Karazim, it's paired with the Tassadar, and that's not available to Cloud9. But like you mentioned before, 7-sided strike can do a lot to help take out Leoric, that front line, very quickly from Bob Ross.
Vala's the pickup here. Going to be seeing Arthlon playing that. The original inventor of the multi-shot build. Vala at the time was actually out of the meta until Arthlon brought that build alive, and she actually came to the top of it very, very quickly.
And has always been a mainstay since then, too.
Yeah.
Really staying consistent, even through changes to her build. But we are back to that multi-shot build. It is definitely the favored one. Only seeing Hungering Arrow very occasionally. Who is Dunk Train going to play? Rhaegar.
Rhaegar's really good on this map.
Yes.
Rhaegar having the ability to solo mercenary camps at level 4. He can go to those drives. And there it is, the Abathur. I knew we were going to see it. Fan, probably the best Abathur player in the world. I'm going to go ahead and say that. He is so good on this hero.
He is ready for some split push antics. We will see how that's going to work out for them. It is an uphill battle for them still, but if they can take this, they will tie it up versus Cloud9.
Yeah, that's going to be really crazy here. They've shown weakness. Bob Ross knows that that's the win they needed. Bob Ross gets that momentum going. They're a very momentum-based team. They like that when they're feeling alive and happy after a win like that. That's when these guys play on their best. And Bob Ross definitely not counted out just yet. Cloud9 with a very standard map or draft on this map. The Rhaegar pickup made so much sense. The Sonya deny was very, very good. It just depends on if Bob Ross can exploit the power of Falstad and Abathur on this map.
Yeah, they're going to be everywhere, soaking so many of the lanes. But yeah, you mentioned before they're very momentum-based, and just the idea of knowing that they can do it, that they can take a game because they just did it, has to be such a relief. That feeling has to be much better, and it can help them be focused. They know that they can do it again. They've got Abathur, fan playing Abathur here on Blackheart's Bay.
We'll have to see what these two teams will do. I'm really excited to see how this is going to play out. It's been a long time since we've seen Blackheart's Bay usually getting banned out, but as this is a best of 5, we do go deeper into those map pools. And there we go, guys. The countdown has begun. Game number 4 is just about to start. Cloud9 versus Bob Ross Fan Club. Cloud9 needs this win, Gilly, and they will win the tournament, but will Bob Ross be able to tie it up?
Well, get hype, everybody, because we're about to go into Blackheart's Bay, and it will be the next game in this series, potentially the last one. But if Bob Ross can bring it back, we'll have a full Game 5, and here we go.
On the left-hand side of the map in the blue trunks, it's going to be Cloud9. K1 Pro on Jaina, Vala played by Arthlon, King Caffeine on Murden, iDream on Sonya, and Dunk Chain rounding out the team on Rhaegar.
And we have Bob Ross Fan Club coming off of a win in the last game with Fan on Abathur, McIntyre playing Falstad, Zuna playing Kael'thas, Airho going to be playing Leoric, and finally Kenma playing Uther.
All right, taking a look at these level 1 talents, it will be multi-shot build coming out from Arthlon on that Vala. Going to be Mana Addict as well on Kael'Thas. No surprise to see that there. McIntyre going to fly into the shrine of the tower and give them that advantage. They'll be able to know who is here from C9 and be able to if they can contest it or not. When it comes to that level 1 fight, that's something you always have to ask yourself: do we win the fight at level 1? Cloud9 definitely has the advantage.
Yeah, they have a lot of CC, and a lot of it comes down to that CC as well as how much damage, and they do have the Jaina on top of that too. Jaina is such a good, strong level 1 hero for them to be able to have. So going to be able to back out of that. Falstad going down into the bottom. We will see who is going to be the laner against him. It looks like it was going to be Arthlon on that Vala.
We are seeing the Locust talent picked up. I believe that increases the HP of the Locust. Not going to be seeing the normal mine build that we have been experiencing as of late.
Survival Instincts increasing the health as well as the duration. Now we have the first chest spawning too, with 2 members down there, 3 actually from Bob Ross. They're looking to pick that one up and maybe even get a takedown on Arthlon. Does not realize that all of them are here. There goes stuns from Kinma, slows as well from the hammering of McIntyre, and this should be the first blood of the game.
Nice kill from Bob Ross, and that's what they need. They're going to get high feed now. King Caffeine goes for the interrupt, and he does get those last 2 coins from that chest, so nice play. While they are going for the kill on Arthlon, he was able to grab those.
But they're also not done in this bottom lane, as they're going to pick up, or look to pick up a tower and do as much damage on it as they can. Airho with that symbio, dealing a lot of damage to iDream. Look how much that Consume Hook did.
Really well job so far from the Bob Ross fan club, as they do have a slight experience lead right now. Neither team going for a turn in. King Caffeine, I like this position, just so patient, has been hiding here for so long, potentially for McIntyre to overextend, but Bob Ross knows that King Caffeine is missing.
Do have the Falstad going for Seasoned Marksman. Turning back and forth here in the top lane with Abathur soaking in the mid. McIntyre staying very, very safe. As you mentioned, King Caffeine off of the battleground. They do know that. They do know that the gank's going to be coming in somewhere.
Fan soaking mid lane with the Abathur helping push it down. Level 4 going to be hit first by them. Don't see anything too weird from these talents so far.
The same Falstad build as before. We have the power throw. And we'll probably see the secret weapon follow that up at level 7.
We do have a collapse from Cloud9 as they're trying to deal with this push from Bob Ross. And I mean, Bob Ross has been rotating excellently so far. We have to keep in mind McIntyre did play very, very well on Infernal Shrines with that false but the collapse is happening. King Caffeine goes for the door toss. Nice stun from Kenma, and Zuna should be fine, but it looks like that's going to be the death of Ken.
Yeah, Airho was able to Wraith walk away, but they were still able to get a lot of really good body blocks on top of Uther, so 1 kill each now, and this is really good. They really, Cloud9 wants to keep the lanes pushed back as much as possible and not deal with damage, because not only is this another one of those battlegrounds like Sky Temple, where it's going to directly attack your structures, they're like your team's health, but they really don't want to allow a place for Abathur later into the game to be able to push in with his Locust build.
Well, it looks like we're having a bit of technical difficulties. We're going to get that squared away right away as K1 Pro's mic is not working. It looks like they've got it situated, though, as King Caffeine does type that ready. Should get the countdown going. There it is, and the unpause happens. We're back in the game.
All right, as the unpause happens, we have Falstad flying back into the bottom. Fall is starting to move away from that too. Takes a ton of damage from that single target.
Nice damage coming out from McIntyre, as well as Abathur with that hat. You always have to keep in mind, sometimes it feels like, you know what, Falla should do okay in a 1v1 versus Falstad, but when Abathur hat is on top of him, it's a much different story.
Right, especially with the spike burst and the stab. There's a lot of damage that can be done there. And then even on top of Falstad too, we already see the power throw being able to go out and deal a lot of damage too. It's only going to increase once he gets that secret weapon.
Both teams about halfway to level 7. Very even game. 1 kill to 1 kill. Arthlon in trouble there. Fan with the Abathur hat, and Arthlon gonna go down.
And McIntyre moving back to, as he is going to have, it looks like King Caffeine starting to come in here, but not sure if he'll be able to catch him. He does still have the barrel roll and will be able to get to safety.
First siege camp of the game going over to Bob Ross as Kenma and Zuna are working on that. Same time, Dunktrain and K1 Pro clearing out the push in that top lane. Both teams have that level 7 now. I'm taking a look at the talents. Do you see anything out of the ordinary? I mean, we do get the cleanse up on Uther.
Yeah, cleanse is really nice to be able to have. There are some stuns that are a concern, Gravity Labs, and then Hammer of Justice being another one too. Some slows that could also cause issues. And otherwise, no, not really. We have the Frostbolt build from Jaina. King Caffeine slowed by those mines. That's going to be always a concern as well. And those mines will also be really nice to provide vision to Bob Ross fan club, especially around the turn-in point.
Urho contesting the top chest, as well as Bob Ross contesting the bottom one. And King Caffeine is going to go down.
Oh, there's so many yells that we could be hearing from Bob Ross. They are so hyped that they're able to pick up these kills. They're ahead in experience. They know that they're doing a really amazing job. The rotations have been so on point in this early game.
There we go, guys. The first turn of the game. Bob Ross fan club gets in another 5 coins, and there is Blackheart, who's going to take those shots and send them toward that middle fort.
Not too much damage done on these just yet. Looking to try to pick up a takedown on Arthlon. Going to be able to get back into safety as they're looking to put as much damage on this tower as possible. They do get a gravity lapse onto Arthlon, but still in the safety of that fort.
Fort's about to go down here. About 5 shots left, 6 shots left. I don't know if it's going to be enough damage to secure that. I think it will. Urho did a good push with Fan in that mid lane, and Bob Ross about halfway to go until level 9, but King Caffeine goes for the stun onto Kemba. Nice grab up from Zuna, and is the turnaround going to happen? Nice Stormbolt to try and disengage. They're trying to get King Caffeine, but he isn't going to fall.
Now this is always a concern too for a team in getting into a fight. When you have so many doubloons on your person, you really don't want to get into a fight that's going to be unfavorable, and you'll start to play a little more passively. They're already looking to play passively because they don't have their heroic abilities. Dwarf Toss goes in from King Caffeine. Can iDream pick this up in time? I'm not sure. Yes, he will be able to get in time. Mighty Gust just a little bit too late, but a gravity lapse goes down into the Entomb, and King Caffeine will go down.
This is the aggression Bob Ross is known for. Who else would do a crazy invade like that? And they almost got onto the point in time, but at the same time, it looks like Abathur was killed by K1 Pro. Keep in mind, they were teammates. K1 Pro knows where Fan likes to go as Abathur.
Yeah, and they knew that the rest of the team was up there. It's
all
more
the
likely.
mind slow, stalling out this, and Zuna gonna get the second turn in for his team.
All right, a second turn in, and yeah, K1 Pro knew that with the rest of the team up there, more than likely he was going to be trying to soak wherever, the rest of Cloud9 was not. So a really great pickup, being able to push back that Abathur push just a bit, but more damage going down on the structures of Cloud9 because of this second turn in, and still the doubloons for Cloud9 have to be held, and they have to maybe even look to fight with them.
Frosty the Snowman used to scout out what Bob Ross was doing as K1 Pro did cast it from below this point here to try and get an engage to happen, but it didn't end up going down. McIntyre comes in and does scout that iDream is on the point, but I don't think they can contest this.
Didn't know if he was going to try to go in and go for a cheeky play with the Mighty Gust. But yeah, this is something that they know that is going to be going on from Cloud9. The fact that they have that Sonya, they're going to be trying to solo a lot of those camps, as well as potentially with the Rhaegar, like we mentioned. So if they can look out for that, know where they're going to be heading down to do that. Look at them trying to clear out some of the mines too. They finally do get a turn-in of their own.
This is the story of Blackheart's Bay. Once you get those early momentum, it's hard to lose it unless you make a major mistake. Cloud9 desperately trying to find a way to force them their way in the back of the game, but they've already lost 2 forts. Gillyweed here in the mid lane and up in the top.
And they're down a full level in terms of experience, trying to do as much as they can before they are down. Another talent here from Bob Ross when they can finally get out. Meanwhile, Bob Ross very content to sit back, soak where they can, but also just look to make sure to control their jungle, getting whatever mercenary camps they can, and making sure to get all of the doubloons on their side of Blackheart's Bay.
Full level lead like you mentioned. That's brought to you by not only the kills in the force, but Fan doing a great job of soaking multiple lanes as Abathur, constantly using that symbiote to get the wave experience, as well as positioning his body in a way to get the experience as well.
And finally rounding out and picking up their bruisers as they get their level 13 talents. We'll see what everyone is going to take. I do like the lingering apparition, by the way, on Leoric, along with the hardened bones. He's going to have a longer duration of that Wraithwalk to be able to get away as needed.
A big tier here for Kael'thas. Chain Bomb can do wonders against this composition, and until Rhaegar gets 16, it's a bit difficult for him to deal with that. Once he gets the reduced cooldown on Chain Heal, it's really good to deal with that Chain Bomb, but until then, Rhaegar going to have a little bit of difficulty dealing with Zuna on that Kael'thas.
All of Cloud9 in the bottom part of this map. No way to rotate up in time to deal with this, and it would be very concerning to try to do that. There goes the Mighty Gust aggressively in, looking to try to get a quick kill on Arthlon.
Not able to get there though. Nice heads up play from Arthlon. Another fly from Fan as he is that Abathur clone to try and deny a turn-in. And I love that play, using Ultimate Evolution to potentially deny a turn-in.
Now, I dream with, I believe, 12 doubloons on him too. They really want to pick that up single-handedly and be able to put some pressure of their own onto Bob Ross. But Bob Ross are not letting Cloud9 get any lead or any point back into this game.
Only 6 more coins needed for Bob Ross to get their 3rd turn-in of the game, and this is going to be a very good play coming of them as they are going to make their next turn-in even more valuable because all those shots are going to go toward that middle keep.
Yeah, skipping the fort completely is so nice to be able to do that. You know, if you just rely on the turn-ins, it can be very difficult into the later game for you, especially as the game, if you're two very closely matched teams, because you could get into where you're trying to turn in 22, 24 doubloons. So really nice to be able to save some of those shots by picking up that fort.
Really need to highlight what McIntyre just did. He went and got his team an additional coin with the bottom chest being completely capped by Bob Ross. That 1 extra coin got them that enough for a turn-in.
And the mines are showing that we do have a turn-in trying to be made by Cloud9. It looks like we're not going to have a contest here. They are on the same talent tier, and there's no reason really for Bob Ross to try to get into the fight. They can sacrifice a fort because they know that they are so ahead in this game.
That's going to be the death of the top fort there. Shots are going to go down to the bottom fort eventually. Zuna needs to be very careful as Bob or C9 look at the force of fight here, taking a look at the damage the boss did. Didn't get too much done here on this top lane.
We do have Mystical Spear this time for Sonya, so it won't be the Spell Shield. Wanting to make sure that they have that as an escape or the engage that they need, being able to to pull yourself up to it, even if you don't hit the target. But because of that, no Spell Shield. Has to be very, very careful because of both the Falstad and the Kael'thas.
I really have to compliment the shot calling from Zuna this game there. A lot of teams would have tried to force the fight against C9 at that turn-in and, you know, to try and deny that, but they were playing it safe. They're waiting until they have that level 16 talent advantage and get a turn-in of their own. And Kenma about to sneak in 7 coins.
Cloud9 knows that they're about to have that level 16 too, so they're trying desperately to catch someone out before that's the case, so they have a little bit of breathing room to get their own. But man, those slowing mines are so tough to deal with, and Kenma does barely get away.
And this is the power of Abathur on this map. Gillyweed fan aggressively positioned in the top lane. Gonna start working on this top keep.
All right, level 16 now picked up for Bob Ross Fan Club. Benediction on Uther going to help a lot more with a burst heal if needed, or the double stun, arcane barrier, everything looking very standard there.
That's going to be the turn-in for Bob Ross. Now all those shots will go at that middle keep. Will Bob Ross be willing to push with it? No, they're going to split push and go for the top lane.
Oh, iDream has to watch out. The wind is going to push him away, but there is the Mystical Spear.
You talked about it earlier, Gillyweed. You said that would be good for escapes, and iDream proving why.
That Entomb would have been most likely the death of iDream. But yeah, the Mystical Spear going to be able to help out as Blackheart continuing to bombard the structures of Cloud9.
Big push in the mid lane from these Locusts. If it doesn't get cleared up by K1 Pro, that will be the death of the keep. 3 shots left from Blackheart himself. Going to take down that tower. Nice shot from K1 Pro to clean that up. Taking a look at the coin count, I don't think Bob Ross yet. They definitely don't have enough for another turn-in.
Again, we have the reduced cooldown in terms of the Drain Hope with the Crushing Hope on top of it. A lot of damage, but also just being able to use that more often on the double front line that we do have between Sonya and Muradin on Cloud9.
So many mines here, dismounting iDream and Arthlon. The slows are gotta be so annoying to deal with. This is the power of Abathur. Very, very difficult situation. They have the 3 coins they need. Is Bob Ross willing to force the fight? No, they're just going to let the turn-in happen. And I think what's happening is here, this is such smart shot calling from Zuna. They know that they will always eventually get a turn-in over Cloud9 as long as they keep up this momentum. And with that advantage, they're going to be able to secure more keeps and secure the core first.
Yeah, and especially because they have the Abathur. So as long as they're able to stall out the fights as long as possible, eventually they're going to have to go back and deal with the Abathur, especially once they get a keep and can start pushing the Locusts along with the catapults toward the core.
Really maximizing the value of Abathur and the decision-making on this map. I mean, Bob Ross Fan Club, this is such beautiful play from them. You know, it looks like they're giving up this turn-in, but this is just nice, safe play. They're waiting to get those picks, and they're letting Abathur do Abathur things.
And now level 16 talents, though, have been picked up. I know a favorite of yours for Sonya, No Escape, going to increase that movement speed whenever she has uses her abilities from that Fury talent that she has, or the trait.
About a half-level lead right now for Bob Ross as this top lane does get cleared out by Arthlon. The keep's still about half HP. Leoric going to go for a turn-in of 2 gems here. Taking a look at the gem count, they almost have enough, I believe. They need 2 more gems, or coins, excuse me, and they'll have enough for a turn-in.
completely controlling this too, gonna turn in what they have. It's always nice to be able to not have to worry about getting into a fight with so many coins, especially with 7 doubloons on Zuna. That can be very scary as such a squishy hero.
Cloud9 is split, iDream caught inside the Entomb, and he's gonna go down. Ancestral doesn't connect. Avatar's been popped by King Caffeine. Wraithrock used from Urho to disengage. Kenma gets hit by the root from K1 Pro. The chase is continuing here, but I think Bob Ross should have this one.
Water Elemental has found McIntyre in those catacombs that are underneath Blackheart. Airho getting very low. Kenma has to use the Divine Shield on himself, but Blizzard doing a lot of damage, and there goes the root once again onto Airho. Fan coming in with the ultimate evolution, trying to pull apart the team of Cloud9. King Caffeine incredibly low. Airho with the chase was able to pick up the kill, but goes down himself.
McIntyre trying to get dunk train himself. Will he go down? And 3 members have fallen for Cloud9, 2 for Bob Ross, and it looks like with that, they're going to be able to secure themselves that middle keep and get that turn in.
Zuna has 4 doubloons from that too for that fight.
And the perfect time for these chests to spawn for Bob Ross.
Yeah, here be some fine booty, says Blackheart, and they're going to start heading to pick up those treasures chests, the doubloons from that, and continue their lead of having the doubloons as they've had the whole game.
About 1 level to go until Bob Ross has that level 20. That's going to be the first keep of the game going down for them, and they are playing this matchup so very well as they're getting so close to those Storm Talents. It's not enough damage from this tournament to be able to get this top keep, but they're going to get themselves those Storm Talents.
Yeah, and so many doubloons. They were basically out, only had a couple of left, and now they're going to get 10 more by controlling both of these chests. That is huge for them. 12 doubloons should be not very much more before they have another bombardment.
I believe 6 more, and they'll have enough for a turn. And they have their pirates up. The boss is up in the top of the map there. And we'll see what's going to happen. Look how low that keep is in the top lane. Fan on Abathur going to be looking to push that down with the Locust. Cloud9's been doing a good job with K1 Pro and Ball to clear out those lanes. But I don't know, man. It's going to be very difficult for them to deal with.
They are still controlling their jungle, which is very important now, picking up the doubloon camp here, but it looks like Leoric wants to try to steal it away from the top, not giving any chance for Cloud9 to be able to get another turn in and get catapults of their own.
Bob Ross trying to sneak a boss in here with those Storm Talents is a huge advantage that they have. Cloud9 rotating around the map. They're going to be doing their bruisers, and that boss is going to go over to Bob Ross, and I think that's going to be able to take down that keep. I don't know if Cloud9 can focus it down on their own fast enough.
Yeah, they would have to move out, and we'll see if it gets escorted by the members of Bob Ross or if they'll be content to go down and use this as a time to get a turn in. But looking at what we do have for level 20 Epic Mount for Falstad, we have Spectral Leech 2 for Leoric, so that's really going to help him when it comes to trying to tank a lot of damage, especially being a solo Leoric warrior. Locust Nest 2 for Abathur just to continue to put on the pressure. Redemption and Bolt of the Storm for Kael'thas.
Oh, Bob Ross realizes that iDream is not with the team. Are they going to go for the fight? They get the slow on King Caffeine and 14 gems and another 2 from Zuna. That's going to be very close to another turn in here, but I really want to highlight this play from Fan. Before they knew it, before they even started the boss, he rotated bottom lane to start pushing this in so they could start getting that keep wall down. And as they rotate top lane to deal with the Knights, his positional awareness on Abathur is so impressive.
Yeah, he's been playing out of his mind on this Abathur, constantly putting Cloud9 on the back foot. They constantly have the pressure on them. But finally, they've picked up their Storm Talents, and this is the time they know they have to get into a fight, and they need to start winning it.
This draft from Bob Ross, this shot calling from Zuna has been so good this game, Gilly. 5 shots left. It will not get this keep, but there's 2 keeps down for Cloud9. Basically what they need to do at this point is win a team fight one-sidedly so they can go through a keep and get to the core.
The Storm Talents picked up Ignore Pain for Sonya. Rewind for more heals from Rhaegar, going to be very nice to help deal with the chain heal like you mentioned before. Bolt of the Storm for both Vala and Jaina, and then Rewind also on top of Muradin.
I mean, this is such beautiful play from Bob Ross. They're only playing the PvE game. That is what Blackhearts is about, is just out-rotating your opponent. That's why it's so important to get that early momentum, those early first turn-ins. It allows you to do what they're doing here. Bob Ross has not made a mistake since Abathur died a very long time ago.
And they've been playing this absolutely perfectly, and that's what you have to do versus a world-class team like Cloud9. on a map that has been so long known for being so good for that team.
This is what they have to do. Cloud9 has to go for an aggressive play here. Gus used to disengage from iDream as Leoric wasn't with them, and the Bruisers with Abathur Locust is going to start pushing into that core. You got Catapults in mid lane, Catapults in the top lane, but Cloud9 has to go back to defend.
Yeah, they just waited it out long enough until Cloud9 had to go back. They had no choice. There goes Arthlon to try to deal with this. iDream going to try to turn in what he does have, but still, it's not enough to relieve pressure, not enough to start taking down keeps on the side of Bob Ross.
Arthlon trying to clear up this minion wave, and Knight's doing a lot. He's taking some damage from those Locusts, but there we do have an aggressive fly from Fan to try and get this keep. That is the third and final keep there for Cloud9 going down, but the fight has started. Bolt of the Storm from Zuna to get out there too. iDream does get hit with the essential healing at the last second. Kenma is isolated from his team. He's trying to kite back. Nice Gus from McIntyre to disengage. They're kiting back as well as they can. Can iDream secure a kill? Cloud9 desperately needs to get a play to happen, and it's going to be the death of Kenma, but he has redemption.
He does have redemption. It's still taking a while to be able to get it, and he should be able to walk away from that. Meanwhile, Abathur fully into the base, dropping the Locust Nest to be able to start throwing down damage on the core. Arthlon immediately comes back, does not want to let any permanent pressure, any permanent damage be put on the core.
Good reaction time from Cloud9. Arthlon getting out there in the nick of time. I don't think they'll lose any of the shields there. Bob Ross looking to force a fight here at the mid, trying to catch one out of position, and they catch someone. That's going to be the death of Key Caffeine.
That is huge. No frontliner for a long time. It's only iDream who's trying to whirlwind and get away, but the lightning rod dealt so much damage, and Sonya goes down as well.
K1 Pro's going to get chased down as well. He bolts back, but they get the Entomb on top of the Grav has collapsed, and with 3 members down, the core is exposed. Catapult's pushing all 3 lanes. Fan is on the Abathur clone on the Falstad, and I think Bob Ross has done it. They're pushing into the core. It's Vala with Strafe still up. Can they go for the hold? They're taking so much damage, and I think we've done it with Arthlon falling. Bob Ross has brought us to Game 5.
We are going to Game 5, the final game of this best of 5, and we will see once and for all, can Cloud9 beat this newish team of Bob Ross fan club, or are they able to do it? Are they able to take an entire series and the grand finals from Cloud9?
Wow, what an impressive game there from Bob Ross. They are doing an excellent job. They have brought us to Game 5 against the BlizzCon World Champions. This is such impressive play. I'm so happy that Bob Ross was able to clear their heads after those losses and come back. If we're looking at the games we saw earlier today and yesterday from the winner's bracket of Cloud9, they were almost complete stomps versus Tempestorm, versus Bob Ross, but they've somehow pulled it together, and they're playing out of their minds, Gilly.
They really are. They're riding that momentum too, and we'll have to see if they can ride that all the way to defeat Cloud9 once and for all in the final game. But stay tuned, guys, as we'll have that very soon.